This week at the Boys and Girls Club, it was a little different because it was raining outside, so pretty much everyone was inside, and all the kids were together, so that was kind of fun to see just like different ages because I've been at the same age every week. So one thing that stuck out to me was our leader. I don't know if I'm sure people heard about this, but the two guys that were shot in Topeka, our leader actually knew one of them and was like really good friends with him. So she was kind of talking to the class and she was like, I'm kind of sad today, like this happened, so like go easy on me basically is what she was saying. So I thought that was kind of interesting because I feel like kids at that age aren't really exposed to that type of stuff, and like people, if something like that does happen, they try to like hide it from them. But I thought it was good. She was like talking about it and just open with them about it. Just that way, stuff like that does unfortunately happen, and there was some racial stuff behind the shooting, it sounded like, so it's good to, I think, expose them to that, even though it is a hard topic. And then, so when she was saying that, one of the girls was like, oh, that's how my dad died. He got shot in the head just for no reason. So that was definitely, hard to hear, and just like you don't really hear kids, at least from when I grew up, like kids never talked about stuff like that. So yeah, it was hard to hear, but definitely interesting that they were pretty open to talk about that. And so then, since it was inside because it was raining, like I said, all the kids were together. And so I'm usually with 4th and 5th grade. And so I've talked about this before, how they are like really racially segregated in their friend groups, which I didn't notice the first week when I did kindergarten. So now that I was back with everyone, when we were doing like stations and stuff, it was just really interesting to see how like the younger kids weren't segregated and then the older kids were, because like I could see them all together. So it was definitely interesting to see that, just how like as you get older, I don't know, maybe they just segregate, they just notice that stuff more as they're older and kind of start going to kids that look more like them. And then, so like today we were talking about in class how kids will say like, oh, I don't, think I'm pretty, blah, blah, blah. I definitely I hear those comments pretty much every week when I'm there from someone. So, and it's hard because like you don't really know what to say. Like you can only say so much in response to like, no, you're beautiful. But how often they actually hear that, and it's like who are they hearing that from that they're not, and how do we help them learn that they are, and that everyone is beautiful in their own way, stuff like that. So kind of interesting how we just talked about that today, and that definitely happens pretty much every week I'm there. So yeah, bye.